Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of this beauty retouch where we will be dealing with stray hairs. Stray hairs can be a difficult nuisance to deal with, especially because removing them often leaves the hair looking unnatural. You have to be able to recognize what the hairstyle is really supposed to look like. For example, is the hairstyle supposed to have stray hairs, or is it supposed to be completely free of strays? Most of the time, however, some stray hairs need to be present in order for it to look natural. In this example, the model has a loosely braided hairstyle with ponytails. Because the hair is loosely braided, stray hairs are to be expected and are a part of the hairstyle. We will focus on removing the excess strands of hair while maintaining the overall natural look. We will start by using a clone stamp set to lighten, because her hair is darker than the background. For stray hair removal, I like to use an opacity of 40 to 50%, because we won't need to build up the cloning as much. We will also be using a large, soft brush to avoid any hard-edged brush strokes. We will also be switching to a skinny spot healing brush every once in a while to take care of crosshairs in one stroke. Zoom in to about 200 to 400% when working in tight areas such as the perimeter of the face. You'll notice I like to have the background bleed into the hair a bit as a feathered effect by using a large soft brush. This will prevent the hair from looking like a helmet. Right now I am just removing the bulk of strays. While we want a feathered edge for the perimeter of the hair, we want a hard edge for the perimeter of the body and face. For that, I will go ahead and use the pen tool to make a selection, and then use a clone stamp set to lighten at a higher opacity to clone out the blurry hair. By cloning inside a selection, nothing else will be affected. Now that the bulk of strays are gone, I will actually introduce some strays of my own to create the illusion of actual stray hairs. This way I am able to control where the strays lie and what direction they go in. I simply create an empty layer and use a small hard brush, sampling the actual hair color as I go. All I'm doing is literally drawing in stray hairs where I feel they should be. I want you to notice how often I resample the brush color, making sure I also create highlights and lowlights for a realistic effect. After I am done drawing all the strays in, I want to blur the strays to help them blend into the surrounding hair. I just run a Gaussian blur over the layer at around 2 pixels. I can also decide if I need to drop down the opacity of the layer as needed. Once the outside of the hair is all finished, I can begin working on the strays inside the face. I mainly use a clone stamp set to lighten, but I also use a content-aware spot healing brush and a regular healing brush to clean up any artifacts. You have to be careful when removing strays around the hairline of the forehead, because you want to preserve the visible individual strands of hair that make up the hairline. Using a Wacom tablet is the only way to accomplish this because you're able to control the shape of the stroke, making very fine corrections and flaring the brush out to a larger size at the end of the stroke. You also have to be sure to preserve the lighting when you are cleaning up strays next to the hairline. You have to maintain the shadows caused by the lighting, and to do that you can switch to a clone stamp set to normal instead of lighten, so you can clone in the shadow where need be. Finally, we will use a skinny, content-aware spot healing brush to remove any obvious cross hairs that go against the grain and flow of the hair. You do not need to remove all of them, just the ones that pop out. Remember, images aren't going to be viewed at 100%, so it will be a waste of your time to do each and every one. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on my approach to dealing with stray hairs. In the next episode, we will delve further into this beauty retouch and I will show you how I use Imaginomics Portraiture to perfect the skin. Thanks for watching, and if you like these tutorials, be sure to subscribe to the Fstoppers PPT YouTube channel by visiting youtube.com/user/fstoppersppt. As always, you can find me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and keep up with me on my blog. Visit my workshop site at prep2post.com for informative posts on photography, lighting, and retouching. See you next time, and stay tuned for the next Fstoppers post-production tutorial.